Hello there, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Crafts, and it is Tuesday, so I am back with another tip for you. As I finish 1 week's tips, I often start thinking about what I'm going to be doing the following week, and sometimes they kind of run together like a theme. So last week we talked about how we could take designer series papers and we could combine them all together, all the scraps, to create one nice smooth solid piece for beautiful backgrounds and accents on cards. This week I thought, well, I'm going to see if I could do something similar and switch it up a little bit with cardstock. So that's what we're going to do this week. So I've chosen some scrap papers that I have. I've got Pink Pirouette. I've got some Sweet Sugar Plum. I've got Rose Red, as well as Rich Raspberry. So those are the colors that I'm going to go with this week. And I am starting off like I did with the designer series papers. I have got, you can tell that this is a scrap because we used it for a masking class just the other day. But I'm starting with the scrap piece of paper, so it doesn't matter what color is underneath there. But you want to put a nice light layer of just some Tombow glue all over the surface. And I'm going to start layering down these colors of cardstock. So I'm going to start with the lightest, and I'm going to go lightest to darkest. So we have almost like an ombre effect. So we've got the Pink Pirouette, Sweet Sugar Plum. I have got some Rose Red. And then I am finishing off with the Rich Raspberry. So you can also see, again, all of these sizes, I didn't measure them. They were just scraps, so they're all different widths and lengths, but I'm going to crop them off. Just bring in a little cutter I've got here. And I'm just going to cut this back to, let's see, I'm going to go, I think, about 2.5 inches. I'd say by about 4 3/4 here. Again, this is just going to be an accent, or actually for this one I'm going to make it a focal piece on my card. But I'm not going to worry too much about the size because it's what it's going to end up looking like. It's going to count here. Okay, so there we have it. It gives kind of like an ombre effect. And what I decided I thought I would try, and I have done this before with fall cards with leaves, and it looks absolutely beautiful, is I'm going to do some Versamark and embossing on this piece of paper. So because we have had some glue and it may slip in between the seams, I want to make sure that I take my embossing buddy and go over the surface so there isn't any tackiness in those seams, because we don't want the embossing powder to stick to there. So I'm giving it a good rub like that. And the image that I'm going to choose is one from the Remarkable Me set. This is in the annual catalog, and I absolutely love this lotus flower. So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to get out my Versamark, and we're going to do some embossing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same image across the different colors. I'm going to start on this end here. I'm just going to stamp it down. And it's hard to see the image at first. That's the one thing with Versamark is after it waits a few minutes, it almost makes like a watermark on the paper. Oh, sorry, I moved my camera on you guys. Okay. I'm going to go with one up top here as well. Again, I'm going to stamp one over this side. This looks so pretty. As you can see, the dark colors tend to show up a little bit more than the lighter, but wait till we hit with the embossing powder. You guys will see the magic. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. Oh, this is going to look so good. So excited. Okay, so now I've got clear embossing powder, and I am going to sprinkle it with embossing powder. Now, a little side tip, I keep my embossing powders in these little, I think they're by Rubbermaid maybe, clear containers. And I find it so much easier than having to use a coffee filter or anything like that where you're having to pour the powder back in. So this is way easier, I find. I'm just going to remove a couple little spots there. I don't know what happened to my light there for a second. We are having a bit of a snowstorm here in Victoria, so I'm hoping that this isn't signs that the lights are going to go out on me. We'll see how we go. I'm just going to tap my camera here and hopefully the light will come back. There we go. I think we're good. All right, so I have got my embossing powder on there. And now what I'm going to do is do some heating. So I'm going to start in one spot. When I emboss, I tend to start in one spot. I don't wave it around like crazy. I start in one spot and I wait for the magic to happen. There we go. So you can see how the embossing powder is starting to go nice and clear. And I follow it around. You can see how it just makes those images just jump right off the page. I love it. You just wait till it gets to the darker ones. It's magical here. I think that's good. I love this. I've done this before, like I said, with fall, and I've used like Cajun crave and pumpkin pie, crushed curry, and old olive, and it had put them across the paper like this and then done a beautiful leaf image. And it's just striking. I love it. Okay. Just going around. I think I've got everything heated here. Yeah, we're good. Here we go. Can you guys see that? I'm going to just bring it in because it is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. So those were scraps sitting in a bucket. Isn't that amazing? Oh, magical. So this, what I'm going to do is I will mount it probably on, I'm thinking maybe a little Sahara sand, do a little texture. I've already got a little image that I think I'm going to put with it on the card, and I am thinking bring in a little sweet sugar plum ribbon. What do you think? I think that's going to look so good. So I am going to, this is like a little teaser for you guys. I am going to finish up this card and I will post it tomorrow, and you guys can see what the final image was with this, but it's going to be beautiful. And thank you again for watching. Another tip, so now I've given you a couple tips on how you can use your designer series papers and with all those little scraps, and this is one for those cardstock. So, you know, empty out those buckets, get out your Tombow glue and have at or have a good time. I would love to jump in the picture. I am down a little camera crew. My daughter hasn't been with me the last couple times I've taped. I think it's been better for the close-up, but I would love to get my head in there and say, hey, but I'm afraid I'm gonna, I don't know, mess it up somehow. So I will join you again another time and say a hello. But for now, you just have my voice. And just a reminder, you're gonna have those grab bags still happening for any order, $50 or more. So, you know, head to my online store, place an order using the hostess code I've got here. Let me just, there it is. That is the hostess code for the month of February. So it is still going. So pop that order in. Celebration is still going. So again, $50 for those grab bags, which have all the stuff that you need to make those 4 cards. So I'm going to have packages like this I'm going to chuck in the mail that have 4 card bases, lots of designer series papers, stamping pieces, as well as embellishments and ribbons. Those are going to be popped in the mail every time you place an order online with me using the code for $50. If you want to spend that extra 10, so worth it. Celebration is still going from now until the end of March, and you can pick out something beautiful. Stamp sets, ribbons, designer series papers, all those items are free with with a $60 purchase. So, and that is every $60 purchase. So the more you spend, of course, the more freebies you're going to get. So anyways, check it all out online at my online store, which is Sue Phillip, PHILIP.stampinup.net. So I will also have that link on my Facebook page, which is Sue's Paper Crafts, or sorry, Sue's Paper Creations. So please check it out, subscribe, and I will see you next time for another tip next Tuesday. And please join me on Saturday for my Simple Saturday 10-minute cards. Okay, thanks. Have a good night.